World Competition Day happens every single year on the 5th of December. It's a day that is celebrated across the world in almost every single country. And on this day, often what you tend to find is that the institutions that work within this area, so often it's government agencies such as the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, sometimes NGOs such as ourselves, the Consumer Unity and Trust Society, CUTS, work together to raise awareness on the part of consumers on what World Competition Day is. And in doing so, what these institutions do is, for example, undertake documentaries such as this one, or have different radio programs, or sometimes roadshows where they're trying to engage with different consumers, raise awareness on the part of consumers of World Competition Day in order to highlight its benefits to themselves as well as to the economy.
This is a day when, as competition authorities world over, we look at the service that we provide to the general public, and that is ensuring that markets are competitive, ensuring that markets benefit or consumers benefit from what competition is meant to give them.
We recognize that competition is extremely important if we are to survive in this globally competitive environment. We have seen countries that have not celebrated or focused on competition find the economies become difficult as the economies crumble, because other economies that have focused on competition have really taken advantage of the challenge and have risen where other countries may not have risen. So the recognition that competition is an important mechanism for any institution to stay relevant, to become more relevant, and to stay ahead of the competitors is something that everybody must keep in the back of their minds.
It reinforces the importance of competition in a business, especially us who have small businesses, and also keeps us aware or motivated to do better if a day like this has been set aside, meaning it's a very important day. So it helps us to be more creative, be more unique in what we do in order to please our customers and also to gain more profit in our businesses.
It's important to set aside a day to commemorate World Competition Day because competition ultimately is a key principle we need to have within any functioning economy. From a consumer perspective, whenever we have competition rife within an economy, it works in the best interests of consumers in a number of different ways. First and foremost, we find that different market actors essentially begin to compete in order to ensure that they are providing goods that are of the best quality, of the best service, but not only that, also at the best price. Another thing that we tend to find whenever competition is healthy within an economy, a number of different options that are available for consumers in terms of what they should be accessing as both goods and services.
It is important to set a day for competition to focus our energy on what competition gives to the Zambian public. A lot of things that happen or a lot of things that we do as a competition authority may not be recognized because sometimes it may be abstract. But having set aside a day, we are trying to show the people within this country and world over on the benefits of competition, that is lower prices, quality products, and choices of products that are available on the market, including the innovation that the industries tend to have when you have a competitive market.
And as we commemorate World Competition Day, especially looking around the theme of technologies, information and communication technologies and their impact on competition, I believe that in the industry that I represent, it is such a big and important issue to ensure, number one, that we are very competitive, In the medical education industry, there are universities and colleges that are sprouting up every day, both in Zambia and in the region. And it's extremely important that as an institution, we are remaining very competitive. We are giving value for money to our students who apply to come to study with us. And at the end of the day, the product which we are delivering is a quality product.
This theme actually comes at the right time when we have a lot of what we call disruptive technologies. We have now new business enterprises that are using the digital world, that are using the internet to disrupt the way traditionally we've looked at businesses. For example, Airbnb, you can now book a room basically in somebody else's house in a different country. And this person, because they are on this application, you are able well, first for the owner of the house, they are able to raise a bit of income, but at the same time, for the ardent traveler or the tourist, you are able to make savings because these particular homes are not as expensive as the traditional hotels. So then you have Uber, Ulendo in Zambia, we have Tigmo in Zambia as well. So the issue of going online is very real. It is something that is currently happening within our economy, and it's not something that we can ignore. So why do we think it is appropriate to celebrate this theme? To ensure that consumers understand that this is where we are going as a country. The traditional way of doing things may have changed and may change and may continue to change. So we might as well get on board and ensure that we protect ourselves from anti-competitive conduct that is coming from online services, potential anti-competitive conduct, as well as consumer protection trade practices that may be anti-competitive or not favoring the consumer.
The theme for this year's World Competition Day is increasingly important given the growing prominence of the online world in our day-to-day activities. The importance of competition in the everyday market is just as important on the online market as well. It's important to ensure that within the online spaces we have different producers and retailers that are also vying for the attention and affection of consumers in such a way that is competitive and as such beneficial for consumers themselves.
In that it helps us become aware that there is competition out there, and we compete with each other, seeing what is going on outside in the world, which will help us become more creative, more competitive, because it's a very healthy environment to be in a competition. Otherwise, your business will never improve because you'll just be satisfied with the way things are running without competition.
As the world becomes more sophisticated, one of the key driving mechanisms is the information highway, the information and communication technologies, which open up a lot of opportunities for any institution to perform much more efficiently. And that's why the theme of looking at the information highway, looking at information communication technologies is so important at this point of the development of this planet and the development of our global economy.
Consumers should care about World Competition Day because ultimately competition works in a way that is most beneficial for them. So whenever competition is healthy within an environment, consumers are able to benefit in a number of different ways. And so competition that's working within an economy reduces the chances of exploitation and manipulation on the part of consumers in terms of access to various goods and services that are in the market.
Competition for the private sector is extremely important. We live in an increasingly globally competitive world, and any private sector investor must recognize that if they are non-competitive, they will not survive. So competition is one of the foundations of survival of any economy.
It helps me in the sense that I'm always looking for ways to improve my business. I'm always looking for ways to how to satisfy customers in a new way. Always looking for ways in how to be more aware of what others are doing and try to do better than the way others are running the business.
Consumers can also play a role to promote competition within the country by being informed, by ensuring that they themselves are taking the time to be educated with regards to the different actors that participate in a particular sector of the economy. Often many consumers don't take the time to find out who are the different participants within a different sector, and as such ultimately end up only using, for example, one actor. So consumers really have an obligation in promoting competition by also taking the responsibility upon themselves to be much more informed and well-versed with who the different actors are in an economy.
Our mandate as the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is to control and regulate markets. Our Act actually gives us that mandate that markets should be supervised and that we have a competitive environment. We hope that as we are carrying out our mandate, consumers tend to benefit from the fact that the competitive markets bring the benefits of competition to Zambia and to the consumers.
Without competition, I think I would become lazy. Then I wouldn't be able to fulfill the needs of the customers because I'll just be doing things one way, and my business wouldn't grow because I'm just concentrated on doing things in a certain way without looking for ways to improve.
Consumers are the final authority, and as the final authority, it is their role to make sure that they push the producers of goods and services to give the best value for money to their customers. And that is where the role of competition supports the role of the consumer.
Consumers should care about World Competition Day because ultimately, whenever competition is healthy within an economy, they are the ones that benefit. Ultimately as well, whenever competition is existing within an economy, what it does is minimize the potential for both exploitation and manipulation of consumers and allows them to be getting the provision of goods and services that are at best quality and at best price for consumers.
We have some very, very competitive sectors in certain industries like the mobile telephony. We can say the same thing about the banking and financial services sector. We can say the same thing about the insurance sector. You will see that in these sectors you have a number of players offering different types of products. But we also do have certain sectors which are still very much highly concentrated, meaning very few competitors in those particular sectors. And it is our hope and wish that as we continue to carry out market research and advise government on certain policies that may lead to the market concentration of some sectors.
My advice to our consumers out there is at the end of the day, you are the king. Whatever goods and services are being produced and offered to you, you have the final choice.
As we celebrate World Competition Day, I think it is incumbent upon every consumer to realize that with this disruptive technology, it means traders and companies are operating from anywhere in the world, and it will be difficult for you to actually trace where they may be. So it will be important for you to know and read whatever business transaction you may be entering into, or sale transaction within that you're entering into with any particular website, so that you just understand what you are getting yourselves into. This is the burden of having online transactions, but it is also a benefit in that you are able to source quality products from wherever in this whole wide world. Thank you.
Consumers can play a role in promoting competition by taking it upon themselves to ensure that they are well informed and are aware of the different actors that we have in various sectors within the economy. By ensuring that they are knowledgeable and take the time to see who else is participating within a particular economy, what they then do is ensure that all of the different actors then have to compete in order to vie for the money of the consumers ultimately at the end of the day. So really by ensuring that they are educated and not only stick to, for example, just one particular player is one of the ways that they can promote competition.